Hey everyone, what's going on today? It's February 15th. It actually is my mom's birthday today, so she's 80, so happy birthday, Mom. Just want to we're talking today about vetting lenders and vetting investors. So, because you see a lot of it in the real estate groups when people are like, "Hey, I need a lender for this project or whatever you lay out, whatever the terms are that you're looking for." You're gonna get pretty much everybody and their brother in the kitchen sink hitting you up in the group and wanting to DM or I'm a lender or they may not be a lender. So one of the quickest ways is to ask for a term sheet. And if they can't rapidly produce a term sheet, I'm not saying that they're not legitimate, but if they have a term sheet that's prepared and they have their website and they have a business email address, they have a phone number, and they have their programs listed on the or products listed on the term sheet, there's a good chance it's going to be legitimate. So you still need to vet it by looking at the website, looking at the language, because you'll see a lot of term sheets that are or even their language, their ads on social media, or how much loan do you need? That's one of the key red flags. That right there says it's not legitimate. So you don't even want to respond to that. I would just block them. It's not really going to help if you block them because they're usually 500 or 600 IDs that they use different profiles. So you're going to get the same. You might see the same ad 3 or 4 times a day sometimes. So these are scammers that are overseas. They're usually it's hard to I just want to don't say that it's they're not legitimate. So you want to ask for a term sheet and you want to make sure they have a business address, a business, even if they're working from home. Like private money brokers will work from home a lot of times, or their offices. Maybe private lenders may have an office or a home. So that isn't really a red flag if they are working from a home. Or but you can find out if they have a business registration, if they have an LLC or a corporation. You can go to the different states and you can actually pull that data. One website is called True People, and you can actually, it's free, and you can pull information, and you want to vet them. You want to contact particularly anybody that's in the lending business that claims to be. So the other way to do it is just get my lender list. You get 1,000 plus vetted, verified lenders, and so that's the best way to find a lender is just get my lender list. But you can also, like I said, just ask for a term sheet, and you know, get them into DM if they're on social media, if they're on Facebook or somewhere. Just ask them for a term sheet, and have them just give it to you on Facebook, so you don't have to give them your email address because you don't want to end up on a list. So just get them in, have them post a term sheet where you can just download it right off of Facebook. And if they can't do a term sheet, then move on, find somebody who will. There's a lot of lenders out there. Like I said, I have over 1,000 in my database, and I have over 8,000 family offices, hedge funds, and by April 1st, I'll have over 20,000 contacts in fund managers, hedge funds, real estate investors. So the best thing to do is just really just get my lender list. You can also just do it if you do my download center, or if you do, there's a wide variety of ways to verify. But getting my lender list is probably the first thing you can do. And, it's a pretty solid idea. Now, if you're vetting an accredited investor, somebody you're looking to actually invest, there is a process to do it that's required by the SEC. And you actually have to, there's a form. I'm going to post it in the download center. And I'm also going to post it in the masterclass participants. There's actually a form that you can actually use. You have to verify their financial information. There's different requirements that the SEC required, and they just actually changed them in 2021. So it's a little bit more qualification. They want people to be educated and sophisticated enough to make a decision on investing. What they don't want to do is have mom and pops put 25, 50, $100,000 into the next Bernie Madoff. So they want to make sure that these people have the money. Usually they have $1 million wealth. They have a certain amount of income per year. They have it. They can have a different amount if it's a married couple. They can. So I'll actually put what the current data is I can actually, I'll be able to put what the current data is. I'll put it in the public space as well as on in my groups. But there is a definite process for that, and the SEC actually requires it. So if you go out and get investors that aren't accredited, like if you're doing a 506B or a 506C, there you 506B you can pretty much you can only use accredited investors. If you use a C, you can use people. You can actually advertise. So going back to the B, you can advertise, but you can only to people that are are investors. So they're usually people that you've already had relationships with. Whereas in a 506C, you can actually advertise everywhere, social media, but you can only use accredited investors. So you can just basically broadcast to the entire world that you have an offering on a real estate project or some other thing, and you're looking for investors. You can broadcast that everywhere, but you cannot accept money until you've actually verified that they are accredited. And so we'll put the definition up there what the SEC's actually requirement is, and those are the two things that people need to do better. If you're just looking to lend money, to borrow money on a fix and flip or a rental property, I mean, like I said, the biggest red flags is if they won't give you a term sheet, if it's language like how much loan do you need, if it's there's a bunch of them. If they're looking for like 2 or 3%, I'm loaning money from my own personal funds. They don't have a business. If they have a Gmail or Yahoo, I'm going to say 99% of the time they're not going to be real. Now, that's not saying that somebody doesn't use a Gmail or a Yahoo, but it's not that common for somebody who's legitimate to use a Gmail. I'm going to have a Gmail. It's just straight for my personal. Sometimes, people I know that I'm in business with, sometimes I will, use it back and forth, but they generally already know me and I know them. So otherwise, I have Nate at natemarshallcapital.com. I have info at privatemoneyauthority.com. And then for the hot sauce thing that I do, I have info at bidrockbrands.com. Those are my 3 email addresses. And so I don't use my personal one as, I'd say 99% of my Gmail use is personal or something related to personal. If it, like I said earlier, if it comes to somebody that I've done business with or doing business with or something, it's just that I already have a relationship with them. And a lot of times it's just sometimes where I'm at, I can just return something quicker or something. So some people do have it, but I'm going to say 99% of the time, if you see someone at the Gmail or a Yahoo or MSN, they're advertising on Facebook. It's not legitimate. You can create hundreds of Gmail accounts. It's hard to create a business account because you do have to pay for them. And these people aren't going to go and pay, even if it's a nominal fee, it's $10 or $20, GoDaddy, Namecheap, Network Solutions. Any way that you can go out there and get a business domain and business email address is going to cost you money. I mean, it's like, so if you think about how many email addresses they have, if they have 100, 500, 1,000, that's $5,000, $10,000. And that's huge money because a lot of these places are in like overseas in like Asia. I'm not saying really China, but I'm saying some places like that, they're nefarious. India, Pakistan. Not saying that everything's bad in Pakistan. My guy who does my websites and my graphics and my logos and my business cards is in Pakistan. He's awesome, 5-star rated on Fiverr. I've used him for 5 years, referred him to a lot of people, but a lot of these are going to be scammers overseas. So you want to be careful on that. Like I said, the best thing to do is just get my lender list right now to February 24th through a week from Friday. It's 80% off. Normally I sell my lender list for $397. It's got over 1,000 lenders on there. And right now, $79.40. Basically, I'm giving 80% off in honor of my mom's 80th birthday. My dad will also be 80 in the end of March. So I'll be doing something in March just to try to help. And I want to help you guys. That's why I make these available. Everything that I have is to help you guys. I don't consider myself a guru. I don't like gurus. I like to help people and I like to give them the information. And I have a lot of documents. I probably have like 300 program, white label documents. You can edit them, just find and replace. You got checklists. I got analyzers, I got loan calculators. I got analyzers for multifamily, for short-term rentals, for buy and holds. I got 2 for multifamily. I've got a loan calculator for fix and flips because it's a little bit easier process to do a fix and flip. We can give you access to all kinds of information. So if you're really looking to get into real estate, like I said, I got Your First Deal is my program, $397. Masterclass, we're about halfway through the first master class of this year. The second master class will be there'll be a raise in the price. But if you get into Your First Deal or you get into Download Center right now, you'll be able to actually do master class. Just roll into it. No additional cost, no upgrade. Just take master class in July or June when we may do it in June. We need about a month break between sessions just to kind of rest and anything we need to modify or update, we try to do in that time frame. We will only have one more master class this year, as far as what I can tell right now. Does that mean that we might not? We might have a third. We might, but I'm not planning on it at this time. So, like I said, you could do Your First Deal or you do Download Center if you're really passive. Otherwise, and those are both $397. Otherwise, you can just get my lender list for about $80, and we do PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. Literally, as soon as you payments confirmed, I will email you the list. If you do Download Center or Your First Deal, you go in right away. You literally within an hour, I'll have you in the private group. But I just want to tell everybody, we've got all the paperwork you're going to need to run your back office. You can see a lot of YouTube videos. The classes, we actually go more in depth and we discuss things. But if you're interested in passive, the Download Center is awesome. And you'll get the same videos. You'll get the private YouTube videos from the night before. So you can tune into, like, hey, if you miss this class on AI, on artificial intelligence, you can just watch it the next morning. And then if you have questions, just leave it in the comments or get a hold of me and we can answer your questions. But that's the best thing to do right now is you need lenders. And probably by the end of March, we'll have a searchable lender list that will be, you'll be able to just put in search terms. And you'll be able to put in state, like I'm in Oklahoma. I'm looking to do a seller carry. I need a lender who will do a seller carry. That'll pop up every lender in the list that has Oklahoma that'll do a seller carry on a, for a fix and flip. And so you'll be able to search those terms probably by the end of April. The end of March. So, and I apologize. I'm not one of these people that's always going to be polished and have a big high tech studio and stuff. I'm moving back into my office that I was in prior to the pandemic. We were in there some of it when they reopened. It was hot desk and they split people up. There was social distancing and all that. So I left. I just decided I still have my business address there, but I want to. I'll be back in an office, and it's pretty sweet. It looks like a Wall Street type office, glass walls and all that. So we'll be back in there in April 1st, and I'll be able to do a lot of my. I have an 8K camera, 45 megapixels and all that I'll be using from then. And we'll be doing a lot of stuff almost every day. We'll be doing some kind of lead in towards the virtual program. But like I said, if you guys are just vetting lenders and accredited investors, those are just some tips. Like I'll just kind of reiterate before I close this that you need to ask for a term sheet, and then you need to go and do the searches, websites, things like that. Look at you can go on ICANN. You can find out when the website started. You can actually go on Secretary of State's or some states call it something different. In Colorado, we have Colorado Secretary of State. You can pull a LLC in Colorado in 2 or 3 minutes on the Colorado Secretary of State's website. You can actually just even go in and put the person's name in there, and they'll come up with everything that they've ever been involved with, LLC wise, or a corporation, sole proprietor, whatever you're doing. You can pull that. In Wyoming, you're not so lucky. I have a lot of my entities in Wyoming. You can't go to Wyoming and find me. So that's a whole different subject as far as like COPE and dealing with tax issues and things like that. There's no corporate tax, no state income tax. But like I said, so just ask for a term sheet, do a little due diligence. Don't give them your email address. Ask them just to message. Give it to you a messenger and DM. There's a feature they can just upload the term sheets. If you're a lender out there and you're going into real estate groups on Facebook or anything else, just put your whatever you can do, put your term sheet up when you say that you're a lender. This is my term sheet, and put what the stipulations and requirements are. If you require a 660 credit score for a program, make sure it's in writing on your term. It's not that hard. You can go to canva.com and make a term sheet if you're a lender. If you're a private money broker, you should have tons of, I have 100 term sheets. I could put up 3 or 4 right now on the screen. So I could put up Kogo, Vizio. I got one yesterday from a company, and I'm actually vetting them right now. They can do gap and down payment loans, but they've also got some other loans. So we are actually vetting them. Kevin and I are looking at them, going through them, just making sure they're legitimate. We'll never put a lender or somebody out there who isn't legitimate. And we got a good story about that. We'll tell sometime. But one that we kind of vetted last summer in 2020, was it 2022? It was 2021. We vetted one, and it was pretty fascinating story with the different government agencies that we got involved. But just want to throw that out there, guys. I know it's a little rough. It's Wednesday. It's snowing like hell outside. We could get up to a foot. We're looking at probably getting like 6 inches. So I'm home all day, kind of just chilling. So I'm going to do a lot of it's just trying to get information out to you guys. Like I said, I'm never going to be I'm never going to be 100% polished. It's not what I want to get information to you. I want to get systems, processes, and help you out with your business. So with that, I'm going to close, and I thank you for watching.